Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear students of class 10, today we are going to discuss an important endocrine gland, that is hypothalamus gland. It is called hypothalamus gland is called mother switchboard gland. Mother switchboard gland. Why? Because it is a part of nervous system. It is a part of nervous system and controls the endocrine system, whole endocrine system. It is a part of endocrine system. It controls the endocrine system with the help of pituitary gland. With the help of pituitary gland. So why hypothalamus is known as mother switchboard gland or supermaster gland? Because it is a part of nervous system. It is a part of nervous system and it controls the endocrine system. It controls the endocrine system. It is a part of nervous system. It controls the endocrine system with the help of pituitary gland. It serves as a link. It serves as a link. It is just a link between nervous system. It serves as a link between the nervous system and endocrine system. So it acts as a link between the two systems of the body, that is the nervous system and the endocrine system. That is why it is also known as mother switchboard gland. So hypothalamus is called mother switchboard gland because it is a part of nervous system and controls the endocrine system with the help of pituitary gland. Later on you will study about the pituitary gland. It serves as a link, so it acts as a connecting link between what? Nervous system and the endocrine system. The hypothalamus is actually made up of the nervous tissue. The hypothalamus is made up of masses or sheets of gray matter called, these masses or sheets of gray matter are called hypothalamic nuclei. Hypothalamic nuclei. So what actually hypothalamus is made up of? It is made up of a nervous tissue, that is the gray matter. It is made up of a nervous tissue called the gray matter, but there are sheets of gray matter. There are masses of gray matter that form this structure. And these masses and sheets of gray matter are called hypothalamic nuclei. And it is located at the floor of diencephalon. It is located at the floor of diencephalon, and you know about the diencephalon is a part of brain. Simply you can see the location of the hypothalamus is in the brain. Where? On the floor of diencephalon. So what makes the hypothalamus an important gland? What makes the hypothalamus as a mother switchboard gland? It has hypothalamus. It has neurosecretory cells. The hypothalamus contains a tissue that has neurosecretory cells, that has a kind of cells which are known as neurosecretory cells, and these cells secrete neurohormones. These cells secrete neurohormones, and neurohormones are going to control the whole endocrine system, as well as to serve as a link between the endocrine system and the nervous system. Neurohormones are kind of hormones that are, what are neurohormones? Neurohormones are those hormones which are produced by neurosecretory cells or neuroendocrine cells, or neuroendocrine cells, and sometimes also by neurons, That is why these are called neurohormones. They have similarity with other hormones that we have discussed, the characters of hormones. These have similarity with them, and these neurohormones contain two factors. Neurohormones contain the two factors. So what will be the two factors of these neurohormones? The factor is a releasing factor, RH, and inhibiting factor, the releasing factor and the inhibiting factor. So what is releasing factor? Releasing factor is that very factor when neurohormones are secreted by the hypothalamus towards the pituitary gland. These neurohormones are going to stimulate the pituitary gland to secrete the hormone, and that very hormone is going to secrete some other gland, by which physiological effect is going to regulate in the body of an organism. So I will repeat, what are releasing factors? Releasing factors are simply those factors when neurohormones are released from the hypothalamus, it will go up to the pituitary gland, and pituitary gland will start regulating the hormone, and that very hormone will do a particular effect in the body of an organism. So releasing factor means when hypothalamus releases neurohormones, and these neurohormones are going to stimulate a particular endocrine gland in order to secrete a particular hormone, so that physiological effect is observed in the animal body. Same is the reversal, inhibiting factor. Here what the gland was stimulated to release something, here gland is stimulated to stop the secretion of hormone. Here there is secretion of hormone, here there is no secretion of hormone, because it has inhibiting factor. It is releasing factor, here the hormones are released, due to which? Due to neurohormones. Neurohormones are going to stimulate something, some gland, and that very gland it is going to release the hormone, such as pituitary gland. Same is the case with the inhibiting factor, when these neurohormones are going to stimulate the pituitary gland in order to stop a particular hormone. So this is called the inhibiting factor. So neurohormones contain the two factors. First is releasing factor, by which there is secretion of an hormone, and inhibiting factor, by which the secretion of hormone stops. So releasing factor and inhibiting factor are important. These neurohormones are transported to pituitary gland by two means. By two means or two ways. So what I am trying to convey here, the neurohormones from the hypothalamus are transported towards the pituitary in order to stimulate the pituitary gland, so that pituitary gland will secrete its hormones in order to stimulate the other glands in the body. So there are two ways. By which neurohormones are transported towards the pituitary gland, so that pituitary gland will secrete its hormones, and that very hormones will stimulate the other or inhibit the other endocrine glands in order to bring the physiological activities in the body. This is hypothalamus. Suppose this is anterior lobe of pituitary gland. This is the posterior lobe of pituitary gland. Anterior lobe of pituitary gland, posterior lobe of pituitary gland. Now, hypothalamus has to transport neurohormones this very part. It has also transport neurohormones to this very part. But transportation is by other means. Here hypothalamus transports neurohormones through veins which are present in this stalk, between the hypothalamus and anterior lobe of pituitary gland. And here hypothalamus transports the neurohormones through axons. This means neurons. Neuron have axon part. So you can simply, here the transportation is mediated by simply neuron, but actual part is axon. Here transportation of the neurohormones occurs through the veins from hypothalamus to this anterior lobe, from hypothalamus to posterior lobe, but here is transportation through veins. These veins, simply you remember the veins, these veins are known as portal veins or hypophyseal portal veins. Simply you have to remember only through veins. Just take a concept: hypothalamus transport through the vein system, the neurohormones towards the anterior lobe of pituitary gland, so that this very part will be stimulated or inhibited. Same is the case, hypothalamus sends its neurohormones through the axon parts of a neuron, so that this part will be stimulated or inhibited. Moreover, the hypothalamus synthesizes the two major hormones. Synthesizes the two hormones. That is, it only synthesizes the two hormones, that is oxytocin and vasopressin. Oxytocin and vasopressin, or ADH, antidiuretic hormone. So hypothalamus synthesizes, these are the neurohormones, these are the hormones. Hypothalamus synthesizes the two hormones, that is oxytocin. Later on you will see the function of oxytocin. You will also see the function of ADH, that is vasopressin. So hypothalamus is going to synthesize the two hormones, and these two hormones are stored in posterior lobe of pituitary gland. I will write posterior lobe of pituitary gland. I will repeat the point. Hypothalamus synthesizes the two hormones, that is oxytocin and vasopressin. I will highlight this. Oxytocin and vasopressin, known as ADH. But these are stored in where? Where they are stored? These are stored in the posterior lobe of pituitary gland, and simply this very part will secrete them, and secretion occurs secretion occurs also through this very part. This means where these two are stored. Suppose these two are suppose oxytocin and ADH. These are stored in this very part. Synthesized in the hypothalamus. Suppose they are synthesized here. They are transported to this very posterior part for storage purposes. And when body needs these two hormones, that is oxytocin and ADH, it is secreted by posterior lobe of pituitary gland. When posterior lobe of pituitary gland gets stimulated in order to secrete the oxytocin and vasopressin ADH hormone, this very posterior lobe of pituitary gland is going to secrete these two hormones. So I will repeat this. Hypothalamus actually synthesizes the two hormones, that is oxytocin only synthesized, oxytocin and vasopressin, but these are stored in the posterior lobe of pituitary gland. When the pituitary gland gets stimulated in order to secrete these two kinds of hormones, it secretes, the posterior lobe secretes these two hormones in order to bring the physiological effect in the body of an animal. So a little bit we have discussed about the hypothalamus. Now in another lecture we are going to discuss the neurohormones. Neurohormones, their releasing factor as well as their inhibiting factor. That will be in the next video. Hope you have understood that. Thank you very much.